in Africa. Speakers at the event, including the Mauritanian leader Mohammed Ould Sheikh El Ghazouani, acknowledged President Buhari's leadership and interventions towards enhancing peace and stability on the continent, which they say is critical to sustainable growth and development.
We need to give the priority to this culture of peace and stability, as it is a prerequisite to development and prosperity.
With peace and security, we can address challenges such as climate change, migration, and food insecurity.
President Muhammad Buhari appreciated the Peace Award, describing it as a befitting farewell gift to him as he prepares to finish strong in office and ensure a peaceful transition to the next administration.
It is indeed a recognition that speaks volumes to the ultimate goal of collective efforts by African leaders to engender peace and stability as prerequisites for development in our continent.
Speaking on the conference with the theme Enter All in Peace, the president said although Boko Haram insurgency is on the verge of becoming history in Nigeria, the situation in Libya, he however said, remains volatile, hoisting not only lack of peace and stability but development in the Sahel, Central Africa and the Lake Chad region.
Too many external interests have pestered on the challenges of Libya for too long and regrettably compounded the search for sustainable solution. It is my hope that the next African Union Summit will revisit this matter in a comprehensive and pragmatic manner to free our regions and the continent the circles of violence, instability, lack of development, and progress in the sub-regions of Africa that are well endowed with resources that can easily sustain not only the continent but most of the world.
The president also made a case for African leaders to give premium to youth development, particularly skills acquisition, so as to discourage idleness that could lead to religious fundamentalism and extremism.
African leaders must reaffirm their commitment by demonstrating political will required for ownership of African peace and security architecture and the implementation of African governance architecture.
President Buhari said efforts should also be concretized towards the curtailment and possible prevention of the circulation of small arms and light weapons, as well as the festering of the foreign fighters into the African continent. From Nouakchott, Mauritania, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And back home, President Muhammad Buhari has written to Senate seeking the confirmation of 7 members of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports as Senate reconvened from recess.
After the Christmas and New Year recess, Senate is back to business. With 5 months left to wind up, the 9th Assembly has now commenced preparations for landing. President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, welcomed his colleagues with emphasis on sustained commitment to national duty. He advised Nigerians to take advantage of the new Electoral Act and fully participate in the ongoing electoral process.
So I urge Nigerians to take advantage, to take the opportunity of an electoral act that will ensure every single vote counts. I want to urge INEC to ensure that he stays on top of his game. No excuses. Our security agencies have assured everyone in this country that they will ensure that the environment is secured and safe for citizens to go out and vote without any let or hindrance.
Senate received list of 7 nominees for screening and confirmation as members of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission.
It is my hope that the distinguished Senate will consider and confirm the appointment in the usual expeditious manner.
Senate leader Ibrahim Gobir briefed Senate on the presidential request on the ways and means before the Senate.
The Minister of Finance and also the Governor of Central Bank. Unfortunately, we were not able to get the information that we are looking for. Why? Because the 2 of them were out of town.
The National Assembly or the Senate is prepared to consider the request, but we must have the necessary information because we want to be guided.
A bill that seeks to strengthen railway security has passed first reading at the Senate. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
And in the Green Chamber, the Speaker, Femi Gbagbo-Amila, has stressed that political actors should ensure that politics-related conversations seek to unite the people by highlighting an agenda of shared prosperity, social development, and respect for humanity. This is against the backdrop of increased politics-related attacks in parts of the country. National Assembly correspondent Lamiari reports that the appeal came as the House resumes plenary after the New Year break.
The Green Chamber is resuming plenary amid electioneering campaigns as Nigeria prepares for the general elections. The Speaker noted that the nature of political conversations determine not just the electoral outcomes, but the quality of governance, and therefore urged Nigerians to unite and ensure that the trend of insecurity and attacks on political actors do not lead to circumstances that threaten forthcoming general elections.
As leaders in our various communities and constituencies, we must adopt politics of accommodation and brotherhood. And we must ensure that no insecurity threatening our country's peace can be attributed to our actions or utterances. This is our constitutional obligation and a moral duty from which we must not deviate. I wish to acknowledge with the most incredible gratitude the efforts of our men and women in uniform, who at this moment are stationed in different parts of the country, taking risks and offering the supreme sacrifice to keep the peace.
Gbagbo-Amila also reassured that the 9th House of Representatives will make use of the less than 5 months of its life cycle to conclude work on bills that will improve different sectors of national life. A matter of urgent importance brought to the notice of the House was the kidnap of a PDP chieftain in Orukanam of Akwa Ibom State.
Mr. Enobong Williamson was kidnapped by unknown men, and all attempts to locate him has proved abortive. The entire community has since commenced a search for him.
2 other motions, one urging authorities to assist victims of fire disaster as the Abakmin market in Akwa Ibom State from Anikan Umana, and the other from Saidu Musa, appealing for provision of alternative funding source to reconstruct Bida Zungir Road in Niger State were adopted.
That the info will wreak havoc on the people and properties, resulting in several burns, injuries, and huge losses incurred by helpless citizens and traders.
Aside from the recent maintenance on some failed portion of the road through the COVID-19 intervention by FEMA, no rehabilitation has been carried out on the Tronkiri Road and its bridges since it was rehabilitated over 30 years ago.
Other features at plenary include the first reading of 4 bills, while the bill to amend Nigerian Council of Management's Development passed second reading. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
And away from the National Assembly now, the All Progressives Congress APC presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu today took his campaign to Kwara State in company of the top hierarchy of the Presidential Campaign Council. During the rally held at the Metropolitan Square, Ilorin, the APC candidate solicited the people's votes, promising prosperity, banishment of hunger, corruption, and insecurity. Raliat Ibrahim has a situation report.
The wait for the All Progressives Congress APC presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a long one, as stories went round on Monday about the possible postponement of his coming. The joy of the APC supporters can then be imagined when he eventually arrived the ancient city of Ilorin. He then proceeded to the Ilorin Metropolitan Square, where he called on Nigerians to give him the mandate to serve and build on the successes of President Muhammadu Buhari.
The votes for the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You don't vote for anybody else. You vote for me.
The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, urged the people to make their support meaningful by voting for all APC candidates in the coming elections. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu later paid homage to the Emir of Ilorin, Alhaji Ibrahim Zulu Gambari, where he received royal blessings. Raliat Ibrahim, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has promised Nigerians that he would start addressing challenges of insecurity, youth unemployment, and economic deprivation from the first day he assumes office if elected president. He gave the promise during his presidential campaign rally in Ekiti, Ekiti State. Olukemi Sani has details.
Atiku Abubakar's campaign train reached Ekiti after interfacing with various stakeholders across the state. National chairman of the party, Senator Yota Ayu, led the National Working Committee and Ekiti state stakeholders of the PDP to solicit support from electorate.
This party, which I revealed it to be a genuinely People's Democratic Party in Ekiti state. This rally starts that process because next month we shall have a new president. We appreciate your intellectual prowess, we appreciate your intellectual capacity, and that of every Nigerian.
We are going unit by unit. We're even going community by community. We're going to mobilize.
Make sure you get your PVCs on the 25th of February. Vote for our PDP presidential candidate.
The presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, mounted the podium, expressing the confidence he has in his supporters and Nigerians in general to key into his vision for a better future.
The PDP federal government will make use of the human capital that God has endowed you in Ekiti. It is your God-given gift. We want to come back as a party to begin the process to create a new Nigeria where everybody will be happy.
Admitting that small businesses must play a role in the nation's economic recovery, Atiku Abubakar said his administration, if elected, will construct federal link roads to enhance the livelihood of the people. From Ekiti, Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
That report was put together by Onotu Yakubu and not Olukemi Sani, as earlier mentioned. If you just joined us, this is the Network News. Time for a break. Please stay.
Other persistent conflicts and violent clashes between herders and farmers, which most of the times lead to loss of properties and lives across the country, the Kano State Governor, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, OFR, has constituted a 24-member high-powered committee of experts, representatives of key government agencies and relevant stakeholders to organize a national conference on livestock reforms and mitigation of associated conflicts. The conference will serve as a platform for dialogue and exchange of ideas, as well as proffer workable solutions for better understanding, tolerance, and peaceful coexistence between farmers and herders in Nigeria.
achieving $18 billion worth of relief and $30 billion overall reduction. We revived the rail system. We upgraded agriculture. We brought in the mobile phone and digitalized Nigeria. Under the PDP, the Nigerian economy was the strongest in Africa. Though Nigerians made their choice, today we all know better. Nigerians, do not despair. Hope is in the horizon. We are putting in the work and refreshing our drive to rescue and rebuild Nigeria. Together, let's make it happen. PDP. Power to the people.
Just a moment. Hello? Sunday! Yes, Marga. Come. 1,000 naira. Buy me Airtel recharge card. You have what I said. Thank you. Yeah. Sunday, don't finish me. I say 1,000 naira recharge card. You carry 8,000 naira of my money, go load them. Because money in your hand, Abi. Oganu. As I load the 1,000 naira, I use Airtel Ovajara, turn them to 8,000 naira, just like that.
8 times the value of any recharge, plus double data and 1,000 naira activation bonus when you buy a new SIM.
Sunday, go buy us. And make sure say they put Ovajara for you.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's a little for Nigeria. Oh, better days are coming. Better days that gives us hope and strength. All I feel the boy determined to keep it up alive. Bring the spark back to all Nigerians.
It's a new dawn in Nigeria. When hope beckons on our people, the silver lining dots the skies. The firmament portents a bright future as the people of Nigeria bloom to vote a man whom they have come to trust for the realization of their aspirations for a better Nigeria. That man is Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. He has been tested. He can be trusted. Vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as President of Nigeria 2023. Vote Kashim Shettima as Vice President. Vote APC. Surely with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the smiles are returning. We are close to home.
Bring the spark back to all Nigerians.
Thank you for staying. We're still talking politics as River State Governor Nyesom Wike has appealed to the people of Ogba, Egbema and Udoni local government area to double their support for all candidates of the People's Democratic Party in the forthcoming general elections to ensure a landslide victory. The governor made the appeal while addressing the people at the headquarters of the council area to kick off the local government campaigns in the state. Ogedi Onyekwere completes the story.
It was a carnival of sorts as people of Oba Idemandoni local government area thanked the road to herald the arrival of Governor Nyesom Wike, who is in the area to flag off the PDP campaign for the forthcoming general elections. The show of solidarity and support, according to the people, emanates from the developmental projects executed in the area and adoption of one of their own as the running mate of a PDP governorship candidate.
Omega is PDP. PDP is Omega. And that is as regards the governorship election, as regards the senatorial election, as regards the House of Reps election, as regards the House of Assembly election. We have come here today to campaign for you to give us the support you gave to us when we visited you in 2014 to 2015. When we came in 2019, you gave us the support. We have come back in 2023 for God to consolidate with what we have done.
We have a reason for tagging this team consolidation. It is a special word that will bring further development in Oba, and what we stand for is good governance.
When I was the Honorable Commissioner of Education under our brother, His Excellency, Sir Dr. Peter Odili, by God's grace, I impacted in all the 6 goals.
High point is the presentation of flags to the party candidates in the state. The governor had earlier paid a visit to the Oba's Palace, Nwachukwu Obi III, where they received his royal blessings for the campaigns. In Omoko, Ogedinyeko, NTA News.
And in Bauchi, Nigeria's next president has been described as one who must be well experienced in governance, grounded in knowledge of the nation, and possesses leadership skills. This was the submission of some politicians who defected from the new Nigeria People's Party to the People's Democratic Party in Bauchi State. Bulak Afsa reports that thousands of members defected.
From one party to another is no longer news because during electioneering, politicians, electorates realign their allegiance for their preferred candidate or party. But defection could be news when party executives and members defect in their numbers. Former National Zonal Secretary of New Nigerian People's Party (NNPP) Northeast, Babayo Liman, maintained that the defection from the NNPP to PDP is because they believe in the candidature of Atiku Abubakar, given his track record and abilities.
I, with my more than 3.5 million members of Concosia and NPP members in the northeast of Nigeria, decided to defect to PDP to support His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. He is the only person that can bring sanity, that can bring development to this nation.
The defectors were welcomed to the fold by officials of the People's Democratic Party in Bauchi. Bulak Afsa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the National Rescue Movement says it has not filed any suit at the Federal High Court in Abuja to disqualify the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, from the 2023 presidential race on account of his dual citizenship. Chairman of the party, Isaac Ude, stated this during a press briefing while reacting to media reports that the party, through its counsel, one Mohammed Danjuma, filed a suit insinuating that Peter Obi acquired Dallas, Texas, United States of America citizenship in breach of Sections 1 and 137 of the Nigerian Constitution. The NRM chairman noted the party only heard about the suit in the media and that the said Mohammed Danjuma was a former vice chairman, North Central Zone of the party, and is currently serving an indefinite suspension for anti-party activities. So, he's not the party's lawyer.
By the party to sue Obi for any reason, because I have no problem with Obi. So it's not National Rescue Movement that took Obi to court.
The party says it has no issue with the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, adding that Danjuma's action is aimed at pitching the party against others and dragging it into the mud, emphasizing the party will take legal action to address the matter. And still talking politics, as the 2023 general elections inches closer, efforts are being intensified to ensure Nigerian youths fully participate in all electoral processes. This is the thrust of discussions at a voter education and awareness conference for youths in Abuja, organized by Decency Pan-Africa Youth Empowerment Initiative. Zenret Dingmam reports.
These are concerned youths from divergent ethno-religious backgrounds, all bound by common purpose and goal, to take their place in the political space as present and future leaders of the country. Panelists from Nigeria and other African countries zeroed in on issues concerning electoral violence, voter apathy, negligence to the process. Youth are tasked to change the tide and work for the good of the nation.
We try to educate these young youths for them to be able to know that we should not allow anybody to induce you in any form.
It's something that resonates with most people to ensure that peace and political stability is something we should treasure and that we should jealously guard over.
Other issues raised were diaspora voting, INEC's readiness to surmount previous challenges in the system, and safety of voters and data.
one of the things voter education seeks to achieve is peaceful elections, and that is trying to speak to the people to ensure that they understand the need to avoid violence.
Speakers say the conference tagged the role of youth in fair, credible and violence-free elections will provoke attitudinal change and active participation of the youth in electoral process. In Abuja, Zanreddin, NTA News.
Similarly, the need for youth to eschew violence before, during and after elections is re-echoed as some groups of youths in Gombe State rallied to sensitize the public on the importance of peaceful voting. The youths, under the auspices of Vote Not Fight organization, which conducted a sensitization walk in some parts of Gombe State, appealed to politicians to stop recruiting youths as political thugs. Abubakar Yakubu has more.
Rally, which started from the Pantani Stadium, culminated at the gate of the governor's office as the youths carried different placards with inscriptions that passes the core message of the rally. About 8 different youth groups participated in the joint rally, including the members of National Association of Persons Living with Disabilities.
Politics will come and go, then the state will remain here. So if we can unite ourselves, work together, we can vote those who we think are capable of leading our state.
The Vote Not Fight campaign is basically to sensitize youths and others, various relevant stakeholders, that election is not election no be war.
In Gombe, Abubakar Yakubu, NTA News.
In other news now, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has expressed the need for a national consensus on ethics, stating that the country would advance positively if the people implement an ethical revolution where national work ethics of honesty and hard work is established. State House correspondent Jide Odifade reports.
What first welcome visitors to the Baptist Boys High School in Abuja is this rhetorical question: what have I gained today? And of course, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo in this lecture states the values that determine the success and failure of individuals and the nation.
It is values, the values of hard work, discipline, integrity, trustworthiness, respect, patience, delay of gratification. These are the values that determine the success or significance that individuals or societies attain.
The Vice President also emphasizes the need for government, the political elites, religious and business elites to take the lead in the ethical revolution.
I believe that BBHS has shown that Nigeria can produce the highest quality individuals and that we can run the most efficient governments and private institutions if we teach the right values in our schools.
The event was the celebration of the 100 years of the establishment of the school, where the role of alumni in the development of their alma mater is considered of utmost importance.
We were given something with which to go through the world with. The development of the Alumni Association at the secondary school level simply is to expand resources, particularly to assist the proprietor, the government of the state, and that of the federal to support the development of the school.
Please come and partner with us. Government definitely cannot do this alone.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo rated several projects carried out by the Alumni Association of the school, which include a mini stadium and a commemorative Centennial Wall of Fame. On the Wall of Fame stands the name of the Vice President, honored as centenary distinguished icon.
Beyond what these students are learning from books, they believe that they're learning more even from the characters and lifestyles of these alumni. In Abeokuta, I'm Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Many thanks, JD. Now, looking at the third state of the realm, available records indicate that cases of sexual and gender-based violence are on the rise in Nigeria. But this would soon be curtailed as efforts at stemming the tide and ensuring substantial justice for victims are underway following the meeting of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami with judges and prosecutors of rape cases in Abuja. Olabode Arewa brings us details.
So last year, we had a total of 1,342 reported cases. So we had 907 walk-ins and 435 through our call center.
That was the Director General, National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, reeling out the statistics and challenges of handling cases of sexual and gender-based violence in the country. To address this, the Justice Ministry, judges and prosecutors involved in handling rape and assault-related cases are working to familiarize themselves with the practice direction and trial of sexual and gender-based violence cases.
The judiciary plays a critical role in the criminal justice response to SGVV. It is uniquely placed to ensure that relevant criminal laws on SGVV are interpreted and applied with gender sensitivity and in appropriate language.
And I'm pleading with a very, very loud voice and tears in my eyes to all the judges here and your colleagues out there that something has to be done and very fast.
Going forward, the forum pledged collaboration towards deploying forensic investigations to ensure rape perpetrators do not escape the law again. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
And now talking education, the Minister of Labour and Employment has unbundled the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. This was during the official gazetting of Congress of University Academics and National Association of Medical and Dental Academics. Austin Edemudu reports.
The Union of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The prolonged impasse between ASU and the federal government and the subsequent registration of CONMA and NAMDA have sealed a new deal for seamless academic transition in Nigeria's tertiary institutions.
So when your employer wants to oppress you, we say no. When you also want to oppress the employer to close down his business, we say no. That's what we did that. They wanted to close business, we say no. Industrial court, look at it. That's what Section 17 says we will do. We transmit cases we can't conciliate here. We can't handle. Therefore, if you operate with the ambit of mutual respect for your employers and your employers also respecting you, social dialogue, then the company will not be better. There will be peaceful industrial milieu.
We are using this medium to assure Nigerians that we shall embark on meaningful and realistic discussions and negotiations with the federal government and all other stakeholders on how we can get a better deal for our universities.
But the dichotomy may not be crystal clear for the future, as financial status for the new bodies are still under the purview of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU.
Our dues, unfortunately, are still going to the big brother. They're going to ASU. So we believe from the time we were recognized from October till date, we should get our dues that went wrongly to ASU.
Take up dues should be deducted on source and give you.
And on science and tech, the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, and National Meteorological Development Center, NMDC, JOS, have signed a memorandum of understanding that will fast-track the revival and development of iron and steel industry in Nigeria. Kenneth Nani reports that this collaboration is born out of passion by both agencies to build a strong economic and industrialized nation.
It was a defining moment for NASENI and NMDC, as both agencies in the past 2 years have dreamed of a day like this, when the complementary role each plays towards the industrial development of the nation will bring about iron and steel industrial rebirth. Having cemented the collaborative effort The initiative is designed to reactivate the extractive industry value chain.
The country cannot have industrial development until these are deployed. And now we are teaming off. We do fabrication and they do identification, they do characterization, they do develop process of how raw mineral resources can be converted into applicable resources for machines.
The collaboration, the partners explain, will also translate into job creation, enhance commercial activities and industrial revolution of the country in line with Executive Order 5 signed by President Muhammad Buhari.
We cannot go far in this country without having iron and steel industry, a Jakarta steel plant. And you see the need of Naseni and NBC coming together to see about the completion of that plant, making sure that we are not just a consuming, we shouldn't be a consuming country again, but a productive country.
As the MOU signed is subject to renewal after the initial 2 years, the partners also pointed to other prospective benefits to include development of indigenous technology and direct investments in this.
Elsewhere, the federal government has continued to keep to its promise of delivering adequate housing units to Nigerians at lower cost. This is evident in the inauguration of massive housing scheme under the Federal Mortgage Bank facility in Ondo and Katsina states. Charles Alpha reports.
Shelter, no doubt, is one of the basic needs of life. The federal government, through the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, under its National Affordable Housing Program, has delivered the newly completed 100-unit housing estate comprising 20 detached 1-bedroom, 40 detached 2-bedroom, as well as 40 detached.
The bank has created the right to own window so that the buildings ultimately become their own and completion of payment without the need of equity contribution. Workers are the centerpiece of our renewed collaboration.
Reaffirming its commitment to this cause, the Ondo State government says it will continue to provide an enabling environment for housing development in the state. At Kwara area of Katsina State, another 315 housing units comprising 2 and 3 bungalows have been provided under the National Affordable Housing Delivering Program through the Mortgage Bank.
As long as you earn a minimum of 3,000 naira, you are meant to contribute 2.5% of your earnings to the fund and you become entitled.
The bank believes the mandate of providing accessible homes to majority of medium and low-income workers who are major contributors to the scheme is what the program is all about.
Affordable housing scheme for the Nigerian workers. We are very glad.
Katsina State government, as one of the highest contributors to the National Housing Funds, provided 1 at no cost for the project to enable citizens own their own houses at affordable prices.
By approving the participation of our people in the National Housing Fund scheme, we will actively leverage on the bank's mandate to provide decent and affordable housing.
The mortgage facility can be accessed through mortgages and rent. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Lucky winners in the ongoing Glow Festival of Joy promo have been presented with prizes ranging from generating sets, sewing machines and rechargeable fans. Emmanuel Lerner reports that the winner of the star prize of a brand new car, Tam, a 2-dog, was the toast of the day.
Glow customers have continued to smile home with different prizes since the commencement of the Glow Festival of Joy promo in November 2022. In the latest draw conducted on Monday, 16th January 2023, Ime Etikudo emerged the winner of the star prize of a brand new car, in addition to 27 other winners of various prizes.
Who am I speaking with, please? Mr. Ime Etikudo. I would like to
inform you that we just completed a draw in Festival of Joy promo. All right, you are the latest car owner. You just won a brand new car in the promo.
The presentation of the star prize to the winner Ime Etukudo held at the Glow office in Port Harcourt. Winner of the car prize Ime Etukudo expresses joy over his emergence as the winner.
My heart is filled with joy for being the star winner of Glow Festival of Joy 2023. January Glow have made my year.
They called me, I was saying, your better one chance, come back home. Even to this moment, still
10 other winners got sewing machines, another 10 won rechargeable fans, while 7 others won generating sets.
The promotion in November to spread joy among Nigerians into the media and beyond. We are here again to present the prizes to another set of winners. Today we now need a few minutes forward with different appliances.
Glow has been putting smiles on the faces of its customers, with 3 persons now owners of its 3-bedroom houses in the ongoing promo. The promo ends on the 31st of January 2023. In Port Harcourt, Emmanuel Lene, NTA News.
Congratulations to the winners there. Now time to go to Lagos, where Adiola is standing by for more news. Adiola.
Thank you, Inyere. And ours is also ensuring that we have a peaceful election. The Nigeria Police continues in its enlightenment programs and discussions on how to address the grey areas and tighten loose ends in the security framework initiated to ensure that the nation have a peaceful general elections in February. This time, the security agency had a meeting with heads, members and representatives of political parties, community and other stakeholders. Larry Belay was at the meeting and brings details.
The Nigeria Police Force, with its sister agencies Roundtable Talk, is a means of fine-tuning the security framework on the incoming general election with stakeholders in the nation's polity, this time with actors in political community of Lagos State and the nation's electoral umpire, INEC. Issues which include political violence, intolerance, hate speech, political campaigns, as stated in the Constitution, were extensively discussed.
Our expectation is that in the next few weeks before the election, we are going to have a very peaceful environment.
The interactive session of the meeting gave room for participants to ask questions, share their views, and provide solutions to resolve knotty issues.
This will actually come in making our election a peaceful one in Lagos.
I am satisfied that it is a good beginning.
And what I have observed, I think we too need to be proactive to give them information.
The police said discussions such as this will be ongoing as part of preparation for the elections. The security agencies also urged Nigerians to play according to the rules, as they will not hesitate to bring the law to bear on any action against the law. In Lagos, Larry Pelayi, NTA News.
The unpatriotic practice of vote merchandising, where prospective voters sell their votes in exchange for material gains, may not play out in the 2023 general elections, as more Nigerians express the desire to turn a new leaf and vote their conscience. This is coming from a cross-section of Nigerians who spoke to Abolade Salami on their readiness for the polls.
A few weeks from now, Nigerians will once again march to the poll to exercise their franchise to determine who occupies Aso Rock Villa and other elected seats for another period of 4 years. While many view the coming polls as an exercise that will serve as affirmation of Nigeria's electoral democracy, others say it will be an opportunity for a reset, nurturing the hope that a new leadership will commit to socio-political reforms. But as they count down to the elections, what is going on in the mind of an average eligible Nigerian?
I think, in my opinion, the Nigerians are prepared. INEC has sent the timetable and they have been following it sequentially.
I believe Nigerians are prepared. If you look at the amount of reaction on social media, if you have to use that as a yardstick to measure level of preparedness. I think Nigerians are really ready.
Some respondents are of the view that for the successful conduct of the election, all concerned bodies must close ranks to ensure that the mistakes noticed in previous elections do not reoccur.
That government is able to make the environment, conducive for voters to go out and vote. We come against thuggery, we come against fighting, we come against rigging, we come against all of those things that will make the election not to be free and fair.
The main contenders, what are the antecedents, what are they promising, what can they do, what do you see them, who do you perceive them to be? It's not for us to vote people we don't want now and that will be